Hi, Megan. I think it will be the last one for today. I was just talking about that mouse that is swimming, you know, and I just said that if the mouse knows that it's going to be rescued, it will swim for a long time. And if the mouse thinks that it will drown, it will swim for a short amount of time. hmm And what I wanted to talk about is when you're that mouse and you're swimming from one shore to the next, or you're just in the air, you don't know when you will get there, and your brain is telling you it's not happening, it's not happening, it hasn't happened, it hasn't happened, it hasn't happened, you haven't reached your goal yet, you haven't reached your goal yet. And it keeps urging you, as it keeps urging me, work more, do it faster, do it more efficiently, work more, work more, work on it, you're slacking, work on it, work on it. Like I have that sort of brain who keeps telling those things to me. And I've been working at it, of course, but it's a blessing, not a blessing at the same time, because sometimes you want to, have this voice inside you be a bit more accepting of your limitations and not just be all the time, you're slacking, you're slacking. Anyway, sometimes I feel like the universe is kind of, maybe again, this is magical thinking or it's just me, but I do often feel like the universe kind of helps you when it can. I want to see. I want to say with science, but I want to like this. Like I don't want to go into the esoteric route, even though I am, to a limited sense, to a limited degree, a believer in this. But I feel like you need some kind of small winks from the universe to know that you are moving in the right direction in life. There is this journey that you do towards your dream, towards your goal. And you sometimes just need some confirmation or something from the world to know that you're moving in the right direction. And I feel like when you're on your path, you will get it. And some people relate this to religion, and they simply pray and they ask whether they are doing the right thing. And if they are doing the right thing, they will hear it, as they say. They just simply ask whether I'm doing the right thing. Please tell me. Some people just pay attention to numbers, to animals, to things they see. For example, they see the same thing everywhere or the same number everywhere, or they keep seeing things, they keep seeing coincidences and synchronicities in their environment. And they keep seeing stuff that, like, it's too much of a coincidence to see it that many times. But I feel like when you have so much uncertainty, you try to search for some kind of certainty. You try to search for some kind of sign. It could be a compliment, it could be like a line from a song that you haven't heard for a few years but just flew into your head. It could be something that someone said to you, someone that you heard in the metro, on the tube. It could be this weird thing that you've been thinking about something and you've been writing about something and you just see it. It could be a video that you listen to and it's weirdly accurate to your life. It could be something that someone says about their life and you relate to the point where you kind of feel like they're talking directly to you about your life. It could be just the sense of connectedness with the world, because I feel like as the level of uncertainty increased in my life, I've been really feeling connected to the world a lot more. And I don't even know how to explain I've been feeling a lot more intuitive, a lot more from the heart, from the center of the body than from the brain. And that's why I feel like a lot of things have become difficult for me because just my heart and my gut and my body don't want to do them. So I don't want to do them, and I have a hard time forcing myself to because I'm not functioning from the brain anymore. I'm functioning from the from the heart. And I actually feel like all the people who have done great things in life, they are they were functioning from the heart, from what they loved to do, from what they wanted here, not from here. Because yes, you need to have intelligence, yes, you need to have common sense, but when you're trying to do something big, when you're trying to do something related to your dream, you're here. Like your control center becomes here. And I'm much more in tune with everything. And I sometimes feel a bit like I'm seeing signs everywhere, and sometimes I feel like there's no signs. Like it's very weird, and I can't even like give it to you. Like sometimes it's numbers, just the same. Like for me specifically, I just see the same like numbers everywhere. Just sometimes it's those things that other people tell me, and I kind of I don't know. I weirdly find myself in what they're saying. Sometimes it's just energy that I feel, or like a feeling that I feel, like without any explanation. For example, I don't know, I was feeling really despair the other day and really, really low and really couldn't make myself do anything. And then I sort of asked just, you know, to feel better, and I did. Sometimes it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling that you feel and you don't know why you feel it. And those signs, it's very. Once I found, for example, like a note that I wrote to myself a few years ago. Something along the lines of whatever you do, it's not meaningless. Whatever you do, it's not for nothing. Like everything, every single thing that you read, every single thing that you do, it's not meaningless. And it was weird because it was like writing what someone else told me, but it was actually me a few years ago that have written myself that note. And I feel like there's a whole courses and a whole videos on how to recognize it and how to know that it's coming. And like it's also important not to drive yourself insane with it. Because if you feel like you're living from the heart, it's one thing, and your heart is opening, it's one thing. But if you feel like you see stuff everywhere and you see like supernatural signs given to you everywhere, it's also not great. But sometimes it's just names or lyrics or just this phrase that speaks directly to you, and just this thing that you feel pulled towards. And also, I try to follow the inexplicable pulls, and I try to follow the inexplicable things that I get, that I feel as significant. Not to the point where I drive myself crazy, but still. And I sometimes doubt even myself whether I'm imagining all of this or whether it's really real. Whether like the world is really speaking to me, whether it's really everything that I notice and everything that I follow and everything that I see is really real, whether those things that I think are special, those things that I really think are for me, are really for me, or whether it's just random. But I don't know, you know. And sometimes I also have this practice which is non-religious, but I just try to tune in very deep into my body and try to ask myself, like really ask myself deeply, ask that question deeply. What do I feel? What do I think? What's the response here? And I try to listen because sometimes it feels like it's not even me who's real, who's responding. I mean, it's me, but it's some higher version of me, I would say. Yeah, I feel like I'm losing some people here who don't believe in that type of thing, but sometimes When there is no responses in the outside world, and when there is no certainty in the outside world, try to listen to myself as hard as I possibly can. I ask myself and I ask myself and I formulate the question in different ways and I describe it and I try to feel the feeling and feel the answer. Because I feel like what I'm describing right now is the most sure way of knowing whether you're on the right track or not. Because to be honest, I feel like all the best things in life you should feel. You should feel whether it's the right person. You should feel whether you're on the right track. You should feel whether you're moving in the right direction for you. Because if for a second I felt that now this writing thing, I'm not moving in the right direction, if I felt from the inside that it's not the thing I'm supposed to be doing right now, if I just felt this thing that no, you are not doing what you have to do, I would have changed it immediately. Like legit, like really. If that voice would have told me you have to do gardening, you have to like change your direction, you have to stop writing, you have to like not do this, I would have listened and I would have done something different. And I followed that voice closely and it never let me down because if internally I feel like something is right, if internally I feel that is saying yes, 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 continue, yes, you're on the right path, yes, you can continue, yes, 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 it means that it's guiding me towards something good. And I know not all people operate like that, and I haven't operated like that for a long time. When I was younger, I really didn't do that. I operated from the brain. I didn't really hear my heart or listen to my heart at all. I didn't really hear myself and listen to myself at all. Not in relationships, really, not in work. Like, no. I was just doing what I had to do. And that was my gig. So that was my thing. But now because there is so much uncertainty, I'm looking for confirmations, and I sometimes might even ask, like, can I have the confirmation, or can I have some kind of reassurance that I'm moving into the right direction, that I'm actually doing the right thing, that what I'm actually writing is what I'm actually doing is worthwhile, is worth something, because I need that internal confirmation. I need that yes from the inside. Because if I'm doing something and I don't have the yes from the inside, or if I'm with someone and I don't have that yes, I'd better I'd better remove myself from there, because I'm kind of done doing things because I have to, I suppose. I do understand that I still have a part of my life which I have to do. I do understand that I have responsibilities and obligations. I do understand that this is also for me and to maintain the life that I live. But just in the period of life where I'm trying to listen as hard as I possibly can to the pulls and to the signs and to the things that I'm hearing from the inside, to the things that I sense internally as intuitively right. Because that voice, I think, can save me, and it can save every single person. I'm sure every single person have heard this thing from the inside that told them something, that told them to not to go to school that day, that told them to not to go to that place, that told them that this person is not good, that told them that they have to do this or they are pulled towards this, their interest lies there. Like I'm sure every single person have heard that voice, and that voice really tried to guide them and ignored it, because I have ignored it for sure for many years. And I am still sometimes arguing with it, and I'm still sometimes, now I'm very very in tune with it, but I'm still sometimes wary of following it blindly, because people say that following your heart is easy. Actually it's not. It's not actually that easy. It's not actually that that easy, if especially if you're a person of the brain, if you're a person of the analytics mind, it's not that easy. And following your heart feels reckless, it feels dangerous, it feels uncertain, it feels like you're going into the wall. It literally feels sometimes like you're going into a brick wall. You're just heading into the wall, and you don't even know if the wall is going to be like opening, like in the film Fifth Element. It just feels like you're going straight in because you're being guided there, and you don't even know if you're going to crash. Because at the moment I'm living off that internal feeling, of that feeling that I have to do the videos, I have to write, I have to advance, I have to translate, I have to move in that direction. I have to be intense about it. I have to be intentional about it. I have to be about my shit as much as I can, and I have to continue. And I'm only continuing because my heart and something inside me tells me to. Because I want to, but because something inside me tells me that I have to. I have to. It's very important. It's very important. And I'm listening to it. I'm listening to that calling because and I'm looking for signs as well because I have to know that I'm not insane for listening to it. And I feel like it's rare that people don't trust it, people don't want to listen to it, people are afraid because there is no confirmation, because nothing is happening. There is no confirmation. It's just that thing inside of them that calls them somewhere. And even if they follow it, there's still no confirmation. There's just this thing inside. So that's why I have this year to sit down and to ask myself as often as I possibly can, is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Give me confirmation, is that right? And that's how I move.